Hello everyone, this is Kerry Anderson. Hope you all doing well. In today's video, I'll be talking about 7 things I learned from The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. So if you like the video related to manifest power, I would like to request you all, please do like the channel, subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon or give thumbs up so that I will come up with more and more videos with lots and lots of information. So here we begin, let's go. 7 Things I Learned from the Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy had been sitting on my shelf for quite a while before I picked it up. It was originally recommended to me by my friend Amos Bracewell in 2012. You may recall that Amos was a guest on Dogcast Music Entrepreneurship, my previous podcast, and when he came and stayed at my home in 2011 and 2012, he left another book by Joseph Murphy with me entitled Believe in Yourself. So, since I was on a book buying spree and I was excited about delving into some new material at the time, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind was one among many books I ended up ordering. So fast forward to 2015 and I finally got around to reading it. I would like to share with you a few things I learned from this book. The first one, you receive answers to prayer because of mental acceptance about what you pray. Murphy proposes that your religious affiliation is not what makes prayer effective. Rather, it is based on your ability and willingness to accept what you pray. Your subconscious accept what you consciously accept. Another statement that expands on this idea is the one: the subconscious mind is subject to the conscious mind. What Murphy is saying is that you can train your subconscious mind to believe what you can accept on a conscious level. The second part, your subconscious mind has the answer to all your problem. The statement makes perfect sense if you don't have any problems with the idea that your subconscious mind is God. Even if not for that, though, it speaks to the power of the subconscious mind. You don't need to go looking outside for the answers you seek. Murphy is saying you can look inside and pose questions to your subconscious. The answer may not come immediately, but your mind is always working on problems you submit to it, even when you are doing other things, and it will eventually present to you a workable solution. Now, it comes to you, faith is the only universal healing principle operating throughout your everybody. I believe the implication here is that faith is created by accessing and harnessing the power of our subconscious mind. Illness, physical ailments, and even traumatic experiences can be healed by repeatedly submitting thoughts of healing to our subconscious mind. Now, can we be healed by any other means according to Murphy? No. Faith is a universal healing principle. Of course, I don't think he would discount the importance of medicine and other orthodox curses, but I have to guess that in this case, he's referring to instances of healing that have occurred in so-called healing services, churches, or religious gathering. Now, the fourth one, prayers are answered scientifically. What Murphy is suggesting is that there is a formula to prayers that are answered. He explains that science means knowledge that is coordinated, arranged, and systemized. So the idea here is that we can cooperate with our subconscious mind to see more of our prayers answered. Then it comes to the fifth part. Don't compel your subconscious mind to accept your idea by willpower. Although Murphy does talk about presenting positive thought and images to our subconscious mind, he is also quick to caution us that we can't force things. We have limited willpower. It continues to diminish throughout the day. Can you imagine how tiring it would be to force yourself to think the same things and visualize the same images all day long? I think the idea is that we can plant seeds and nurture them, but we should not be constantly uncovering the soil to see how our seeds are doing. We must keep pulling the weeds and watering the seed, and while that may require a daily investment, it should not take more than a couple of minutes. Now, the sixth one, what goes in your mind determines your world, regardless of whether you subscribe to Murphy's theology. I think this is something we can all agree on. What goes into your mind is hugely important. If you choose poorly, you will assimilate bad attitude, behaviors, and thought. If you choose well, you will begin to see positive changes within yourself. What world do you want to live in? Have you thought about it? If you are not sure what you want to achieve in your lifetime, it make it much harder to select input that will assist you on your journey. If you're fully in alignment with your objective, choosing the right input becomes much easier. Now, the seventh part. Man punishes himself with this false concept of God. We create our own misery. No one else does it for us. I think I know exactly what Murphy was saying here. I can at least tell the fact that my false concept of God led me down on a path of misery. In 2019, I went through a period of depression. Once the path ahead was obvious, suddenly that path disappeared and I could no longer see what was ahead. I cried out to God, but to no avail. My prayer kept hitting the ceiling. And in retrospect, I feel it was my false ideas of the divine that were responsible for my bouts of depression. Now, mysticism is a belief that something outside you control your life. Recognizing that you are in control and you can rely upon your subconscious mind for the answers you seek is empowering. Right or wrong is not something you can check against a book. You already have a sense of right or wrong. So, to fit yourself into someone else's ideas is to try to put a square peg in a round hole. Now, the final thoughts on the power of your subconscious mind. I take notes with every book I read, and when I put together a review like this one, I pick and choose a few points that I want to talk about. I have described these ideas in my own language and from my own perspective. So the author may or may not agree with what I have had to say. In this case, Joseph Murphy is no longer with us. But hopefully I have done a good job of explaining the value that I uncovered in my reading. Also, I don't pretend to be able to unpack 369 pages worth of insight into 1200 words. So if my review has piqued your interest, I would suggest checking out the book for yourself. So that's all about the manifest power. I would like to end this video right here. So before signing off, I would like to request you all please to subscribe the channel if you didn't do that. So we will definitely meet in the next video with my another content. Till then, God bless you. Bye bye. Stay home, stay safe, take care.